Hey, what's up, folks? So, tonight I'm going to do a review of the Radio Shack Pro-106 digital trunking scanner. Now, what this device is it's a radio scanner that could scan the new APCO 25 digital, I guess you could say protocol, or the new format for radios. And what that basically means is that um, there are really three main types of scanners. There were three types of technology. The first one was just a regular conventional, where you would take your radio and you would tune it into a specific frequency, much like a music radio. So you just set on a frequency, you'd listen, and then if you had a two-way radio, you'd have a transmit frequency, and then you just transmit. Then what they did is they created what they called a trunking system, which meant that there was a central computer that would dynamically switch people from frequency to frequency based upon which frequency was being used. And the reason why they did this is that they could they could make better use of, let's say, a group of 20 or 30 frequencies. Instead of having one frequency for the SWAT team, and then that frequency was almost never used, what they would do now is they just have maybe 40 different frequencies, and they would dynamically be assigned based upon who's queuing up their radio. So the computer could make better use of the different frequencies, and that way it would free up other frequencies for, say, like the fire department or the public works department or something like that to use. Basically, it allows you to have a smaller number of frequencies because it makes better use of the frequencies. Then after that, they developed a digital trunking radio system, and really all that is the government decided that they would like to have kind of more of a say, more of a standard throughout the United States in radio communications. Because for a while, each different company had its own kind of standards. So if you had Motorola's radios, then they wouldn't be very compatible with other radios, and vice versa. Well, now what they do is they have a central standard called APCO 25 or P25, and this particular radio here can scan those P25 and APCO 25 systems. Now, this radio can also scan the regular old conventional systems as well as the trunking. So this radio can pretty much do it all. That's what makes this radio unique, and this is why somebody might want to buy a radio like this. Now, what that means to the regular, to the end user, is a lot of agencies, like police agencies, public safety, like I said before, public works, and other government agencies and companies, a lot of them are using this digital system now because it allows them to do more advanced things. For example, digital systems are more secure. They can transmit data, so they can transmit information like what radio is transmitting, all the different units on a system, and they can do things like they can actually disable radios by remote from the central computer in the station. These are all things that that our digital system can do, and this is why they've moved. Departments, some of them are slowly moving to digital. Now, having said that, and kind of give you a little introduction of digital radio systems, this one here is a very, very good scanner. It's actually on right now, but it's quiet because I have it on what they call manual mode, and I have it on only one police department's channel right now, and right now it's just not very busy, so that's why it's so quiet. Now, if I wanted to, I can start pressing these buttons here, these numbers, and it would activate different what they call scan lists. So if you're familiar with radios at all, you're going to know that there are things called channels. For example, when you're in your car and you listen, you tune to Z90.3 or 93.3, 94.1. Those are all channels. In other words, it's a different frequency that is broadcasting a different thing on each channel. Well, the way this radio works here is actually pretty similar to that, just a little bit more complex. The way this works is you're going to program in what they call a talk system. And what that is it's basically your area's computer and your area's radio system. And that system, the way you're going to do that is you're going to have to go onto a website called radioreference.com, and you're going to look up your area. Just click the database button, and then you'll kind of go from there. You'll pick your area. Eventually, it's going to give you a list, and that list is going to have various frequencies on it. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find the frequencies that are in the tower or the device closest to where you live or where you are scanning out of, and you're going to have to program those codes, or those frequencies, into your talk system in the scanner. So basically the way this works is that each area has a system, and then once you've programmed that system in, then all you have to do is program in these different ID numbers, and each ID number refers to a channel. So, for example, if this is like the regular radio, what you would have to do is you'd have to program in the local towers, and then you'd have to just program in different numbers, and each number would refer to a particular radio station. So what you do then after that is you just go on there and you put in these different decimal numbers, and on radioreference.com in the database, it will tell you which reference number goes with which thing. So, for example, a regular police department might have a dispatch channel, a talk channel where they can just kind of freely talk, which is they usually call those TAC channels, which I think, if I'm not wrong, I think they stand for TAC, Talk About Channel, where they can talk around, talk about. And then, they might have what they call inquiry, where the officers would go onto that channel to ask about license plate numbers and talk to the station like that. Basically inquire about different things, different aspects of a suspect and things like that. So those are all different channels. Basically, a channel is used for one particular purpose. So what you're going to do is you're going to go there and you're going to program in
22 Paul in route code,
those different channels into the scanner.
22 Paul route code.
And then what you can do is you can name each channel. And then what will happen is that name will appear on here whenever the radio is receiving. So you'll know exactly who it is and what channel it is that the radio is receiving at that given time. Now, you'll also see that there's an LED light up here, as it just lit up blue a few seconds ago. What's cool about this radio is that it allows you to program in all the channels and then customize different options for each channel. And one of those options is you can actually program in different color LED lights for each different channel. So let's say, like for example, me, I live in North County, San Diego. So in my area here, I have the city of Vista, city of Oceanside, city of Carlsbad, the city of Encinitas. So what I can do is I can program in each city's law enforcement or fire, and then I can tell the scanner that I want Vista to light up blue, Oceanside to light up green, and so on. And so if I'm sitting in the room and it's quiet like this, and then something comes on, then based upon that color, I'll know who I'm listening to. So that's really helpful. It's a really great feature of the scanner. It's probably one of my favorites, and it actually is one of the things that differentiates it from a regular police radio, because even like the radios the police and fire actually use don't have that feature. It's mainly for for hobby, for listening to. It's just a nice feature. Another thing you can do is you can actually program in this thing so that it will make different alarm tones or rings, when a specific channel comes on. So let's say there's a specific emergency channel for my area. Like maybe there's a channel that everybody scans, and when there's a big emergency in the whole area, a police department can get on that channel and broadcast to everybody in the area. Well, obviously, that channel is only going to be used during a big emergency, and obviously I want to hear that channel. And so what I'll do is I'll program that channel into the scanner, and then I'll tell the scanner that I want it to make a beep beep noise. And so that way I know that it's about to be a really important transmission. So those are just some nice features of the scanner. And now for the next few minutes here, I'm gonna turn on more channels so that you'll be actually able to hear how this thing sounds and what it looks like. First of all, it has a backlight button right here you can press. And I'll turn the backlight on. I have it turned on temporarily right now. It's going to go off in a second. But you can actually hold it and it will stay on. So actually I'll do that because I got it plugged into the wall anyway. So now it's going to stay on. And so I'm going to turn on this other scan list. I'm going to go to scan mode here.
5285, 5285.
So, as I said, I'm in North San Diego County, which means that
units pending a missing
this
person
is going
at
to
risk,
be
994 La Buena.
this is going to be pretty
82-year-old male with Alzheimer's found a set of keys and just left the area.
variant on where you
Another
are, the
391
reception of this
Cameron
device.
corridor.
I get a really good reception here just because my location probably relative to the tower, and I get the feeling that San Diego County has a really strong broadcast as well. They have a pretty good system here.
But if Northcom can confirm it's an 1182, then we can go ahead and 1022. But for now, if you can start that way for the FI, and they'll notify CHP.
So once again, your area might not receive as well as mine does, or it might. You never know. I get like a 98% reception, which is actually really good. As you can see up here, it says signal full bars.
23 Paul 2, 10 420 Paul 106 tonight.
It's very, very useful. It's great, and I actually get that good reception whenever I drive, wherever I go, pretty much anywhere up here. So it's really nice. It's like literally like having a police car radio wherever you are. It's pretty insane. What I have on here is an 800 megahertz antenna, and that antenna is it's usually something you have to buy extra. I got my radio used, so it came with the radio, which is actually really a blessing. So, as you can see here, this light's it's been turning on different colors based upon the different agencies who I've programmed into the scanner. So, once again, a very useful feature. Now, I'm going to say, basically the way this device works is you got to organize your stuff into what they call scan lists. So, let's say, like I said before, an agency might have several different channels. Actually, they more than likely will have several different channels. So, let's say I want to program in ocean-sized channels. But I want to be able to shut off ocean-sized channels and only listen to Vista's channels sometimes. Well, what you're going to do then is you're going to put all of ocean-sized channels into what they call a scan list. And a scan list can be up to 10 different channels. And then what you do is you can see on the screen here how there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's just a bunch of dots. Well, you can. Those are the scan lists that I have on right now. So let's say Oceanside was on scan list 2. Well, all I have to do after I hit the scan button and go into scan mode, all I have to do is press 2 and it will take Oceanside off. And then if I press 2 again, it will take all of Oceanside channels back on. So that way I can focus and listen to just one group of channels, or I can listen to, I can actually just listen to one channel too. Like I said, if I press the manual button, it's called man. Just press that man button right there, and I can listen to just one channel. So that's also very helpful. And as you can probably see here on the side, I actually have this thing plugged into the wall. What's nice about that is that I don't have to run batteries, and I can just listen to this kind of indefinitely. Now, this thing takes 4 AA batteries. The thing with this is, though, is just you got to be just kind of a backstory to the whole battery thing.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to continue this in part 2 right now because it's almost been 15 minutes, so bear with me.